everyone. In addition to the videos that I make for the specific readings, I plan on doing a weekly video in which I give you an overview of what we're doing for the week. Some notion of what the big idea is, or how the readings fit together, or what the theme is. Sometimes that may not be possible because there'll be more than one theme. But this week it is possible. So I'll give you some idea of what the big idea is. We're reading two things this week: the Herodotus, Herodotus, and the Thomas Aquinas. Yeah, and those are interesting readings in themselves. But why are they put together? We're reading an anthology where readings from the history of philosophy have been grouped together, exploring certain general topics. And this week, what is the general topic? I don't know what to say. This first part of the course: relativism versus objectivism in morality. The Herodotus is very suggestive. It's just a little anecdote, a little excerpt from a long work by an ancient Greek historian named Herodotus. And it's suggestive. It's not definitive. It's suggestive of a certain thing. And the big motto that comes out of that is custom is king over all. And what is the implication there? The implication is perhaps that ethics, morality, same thing, but ethics and morality is entirely a matter of custom. That what counts as good or bad or virtuous or non-virtuous varies between cultures, perhaps even between historical periods. Ideas about what counts as good social morality is entirely a matter of custom. It varies. So the implication is that it's impossible to find anything like the truth with a capital T about morality. You'll only find the morality of different peoples at different times. And that's the kind of thing morality is. That's one idea. And that would count as a kind of relativism, let's say. And the relativism is relative to what? Well, relative to place, relative to time. In the excerpt from Herodotus, one people of the vast kingdom of Darius had one idea about burial practices and were horrified by the practices of another. And the implication is that everything's like that. The kind of practices that we count as good are our own practices. And then we find that there are practices that differ in other parts of the world and other people, and they're just as strongly committed to them. That would be a form, in modern terms, of cultural relativism, or just generally relativism. And that is a certain view of morality, which we'll explore in more depth in a later essay in this section. But it is not the only view. And the excerpt from Thomas Aquinas' Summa Theologica was meant to represent a form of moral objectivism. What does that really mean, moral objectivism? Well, it means what it says. Morality is, in fact, objective. What does that mean? Well, that there is a single truth about morality that is true for everyone. That is, that morality is not, what is good, what counts as a good practice, what counts as a good behavior, the standard by which we morally judge acts, that objectivism says, well, no, that's not something that's created or conventional or merely customary. There are moral truths. You could say moral truths with a capital T. Thomas Aquinas is just one representative of that general attitude. So that's what his excerpt from the Summa Theologica on law is about. He's saying basically there is a natural law, and that law is a moral law. So let's say what, be more specific. And the emphasis there is on natural. He's not saying that everybody believes the same things all over the world. That's simply not true. What he's saying is basically something much more defensible, and that is that the basic fundamental principles, the most general basic ideas, are universal. And he has reasons for saying that, and it may not be something that you agree with, but it certainly is something that's reasonable or plausible that you should consider. Just as you should consider the relativist position or the conventionalist position, or the idea that morality is entirely a matter of custom and customs vary, so moralities vary. You should also consider this idea that morality is, in fact, objective, that there is a single truth about morality that is true for everyone. And that is what he would say is natural law, which is not to say that all customs and all moral ideas are the same over all cultures and all historical periods. That would obviously be false. What he's saying is that the basic fundamental principles of morality are universal, and that, of course, they are applied or interpreted in different ways by different people at different times, but that there's a core commitment to basic principles that all human beings share. Now, that's an interesting thesis. It may not be true, but that's a big. So, really, this first part of the course is really about um, moral relativism versus moral objectivism and the different ideas for supporting each general idea about what morality is.